But can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Yes, yes.
So in Power BI, we are trying to explain how tables are related to each other because you cannot just carry a big table and start working with. You have to split the table. For example, if you're working with INEC, you're the INEC chairman, and you're supposed to bring in during the election, you're supposed to get the data of the whole of Nigerians and then work with it. You need to know number of people living in Nigeria, their gender, their, color, occupation, a lot of different data about different people. Now, you're going to assign that duty to which other organization is responsible? Say census, something census, that other body that is in charge of counting the number of people that live in a country. So they are going to count it. Now imagine if they now hand you a file after counting everybody. They now hand you a big file, or they send you a file that once you open it is a very big table that you need to scroll, 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 scroll. In fact, you can't even get to the bottom of that table because there are over 240 million people. So there are going to be 240 million rows of people. And then you need to scroll, you see their name, maybe their number, like their serial number, what is it called? Yeah, their serial number, their age, their name, their color, where they live, their state, their region, their occupation, so many information. It's going to be so messy. Now, what if we split that information into different tables? We now have them state by state. So if you want to see the data from Lagos State, you don't need to pull out the entire file, start opening the entire table and tracing. When you go to the state column, you now filter out only those from Lagos, and it's going to be so tiring and frustrating because even your laptop will end up crashing because Excel cannot even load such data because it's too heavy. The Excel will crash. So, but what if these things are splitted into several tables? We know we have 36 states in Nigeria. So obviously you're going to have 36 tables, right? Each of the tables. So if you want any information from Lagos State, you just go straight to Lagos State table. You don't have to open other tables because you have no business with Abuja table. You have no business with Enugu table since you're looking for information in Lagos State table. So once you open it, you just see the number of male in Lagos, number of female, those that are different occupation, age brackets. You just get the exact information you need. So since all of these 36 tables, they are talking about the same information, they have the same data inside, just for different region, there has to be a relationship between them, something that will connect all of them so that the information in Enugu State table is corresponding to with what is in Lagos State table, with corresponding what is in Ogun State table, Ibadan table, just like that. They're going to have equal number of columns, probably varying number of rows because the data will vary for different states, but we are sure that their columns are the same
Yeah.
because we are collecting the same data from all of these states. So there's going to be a relationship. How, when you put these tables into Power BI, how is it going to know that all of these tables, they are talking about the same data, just that they are for different regions? That is the table relationship. And what connects this table is keys. You use keys to connect the table. Primary keys and foreign keys, like I mentioned in our last class. So you have this big table here, right? You have all of this information here. Then you have to separate the table into this and this. But there still has to be a relationship, something connecting them. You can see there's this arrow connecting the information here, down here, this one connecting to this one, meaning that this information we are gotten from this bigger table But we are not going to load this big table. Or, okay, no, let me use a different explanation. Let's say these three tables are actually talking about the same thing. We've separated them from a bigger table. So we have to find a relationship between these three tables so that when you want, immediately you move it to Power BI, immediately you load any table to Power BI will always try to find a relationship automatically to connect those tables behind the scene. Unless it does not see any connection, then it will leave it disconnected. And once it is disconnected, you cannot perform any, you cannot perform any reasonable operation in that table. Excuse me. Hello, I'll call you back. I'm in a class right now. So that's exactly how table relationship works. So if you look at this one, you can see the columns will have tickets, will have submitted by, we'll have hours, we'll have projects, we'll have dates submitted. Then here we'll have employee, we'll have tenure, we'll have city, we'll have projects, we'll have priority, the priority of that project. So there has to be a connection. So usually, or let me even go to my Excel so that we can create a practical table. So what is table relationship? It is a link between two tables based on matching columns. So this is the fact. For two tables to be connected, there has to be matching columns. Remember, I talked about matching columns. So most times, this is what Power BI looks at. Excel, where's my Excel? My Excel is not open. Okay, let me try to open it here. So this is the table we created. This is the big table. We just randomly created this table. This table is a product, is a sales table. It has the product ID, the product name, the price of the product, the quantity that was bought, the profit, the sales ID, the date it was bought, the amount that was bought, the customer ID, the customer who bought it, the name of the customer, the contact of the customer, and the address of the customer. So this is like that big table that INEC got for the whole of Nigeria. It's so big, you get? It's so big that you can't use it. So you have to split it. Now, how do you separate these tables? You separate them by grouping them into observational units. So if you observe this table, you're going to see that it has three different observational units. From the beginning, we are observing the product. This is product ID, product, price of the product, quantity that was bought, then the profit that was made from that quantity that was bought, then the sales ID. So the product part ends here in the profit that was made from the product. This is another part, sales. This is now talking about sales, the sales ID, the date the sales was made. This is the amount it was sold for. Then this is, oh, the sales observation ends here in this amount. Then we begin to talk about the customer. So we are talking about products, we are talking about the sales that was made, and we are talking about the customer that bought that thing, all in one table. All right. So we are discussing three different observations all in one table, which is wrong. It is going to make this table even heavier. Imagine if you just wanted to get information from the customers section. Now, because they are joined together in this big table, you have to call up the entire table. Like you have to bring up the entire table and then start. Now, you now start looking for what you're looking for. You know, it's in the customer section. Maybe you're looking for the customer's name. So you're going to start from here, look at the product. You're going to look at everything. No, this is not what I'm looking for. You're going to come across the sales. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Then you get the customer. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. You see, you wasted time going through data that you don't need. But if this thing was standing alone on its own, this section of the table, you wouldn't even have business with these ones calling them up. They will just be there on their own while you work on. You just go straight and get the information you need. So this is going to save you time. It's going to save you space. Imagine if your company is paying for space, maybe it's paying Microsoft, and you just go there and waste all of this time. You're going to be wasting their money. But if you just go straight, Something that's supposed to take you like 2 seconds. You just got get the query the database and get the information you need. But now you're wasting 10 seconds because you need to go through all of this. So the right thing to do is to separate this table. So here we're able to bring out the product. You can see the product table. It has all the things that relates to the product. Sorry, the information that relates to the product alone. Then you have the sales table. This one has all the information that relates to just the sales. All right. And this one has the customers table that talks about just the information that has to do with the customer. So if I say, oh, which customer bought this product? Which customer did this transaction? Did you make these sales to? I know that I made the sale. He bought something of $20 and then the quantity was 4 pieces. This is the profit we made from that customer. And I say, okay, please, who is the customer? I think, okay, no, we want to know this customer because we made a very big profit from him. Maybe you want to give them a gift. So who is the customer? All you need to do is just to take this ID and go to the customers table. ID 3 is Sunday. So we now know that the customer is Sunday, he lives in Ghana. This is the contact. We simply contact the customer and send their gift to them. So I'm able to query this customers table without even touching this one and this one. They are just there on their own. So now, if you notice, when I wanted to look for that customer, I used something called ID, customer ID here, customer ID 0, customer ID 03. So I now use it to come to customers table and check. So it is called the ID, which is what? Key, primary key and foreign key. So let's define primary key and foreign key again. These are the keys that helps you to connect to build relationship in your table, okay? Um, we have the primary key and the foreign key. So the primary keys are unique identifiers that you use to identify the members of a table. As the name implies, they are unique. They cannot repeat. So now the big table usually has primary keys. They don't have secondary key most of the times if you're using a bigger table that is not separated. So if you check the key, you see that this is the key here, product ID, the ID. The ID does not repeat. One is only one here. Product 2, product 3, product 4, product 5. It does not repeat. But if you come to this one, you can see it's not repeating here. But if you come here, product ID, you can see that product 3, product 1, product 4, product 3, product 4, it can repeat here. It's duplicates, it has duplicates here. So what it means is that whenever you see that a key does not have duplicates in the table, that key is primary key. It means it is a primary key. But when you look at a table, and then you see that the key is repeating, then it is called the foreign key. It means that it is a key of another table, representing another table in a table. Now, these things are, let me even look for a live data set and see if we can explain this thing better. Okay, but before we do that, I don't know if you understand primary key and foreign key. Does anyone understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, please, can you explain to us?
Yeah, I do.
Can you explain to us in your own language what you think primary keys are? Just tell us what primary keys are, maybe with an example. Godwin.
Okay, good evening, Sir Chris, and everybody in the class.
Yeah.
Okay, from the explanation you just gave, primary keys are unique, let me say, characters in a table that is not repeated. For example, let me say a name of a customer, or a name can be repeated. Let me say customer ID, a customer ID designated for just a particular customer. You can have Godwin as duplicate, but you cannot have that customer ID as duplicate. That is what I understand by primary key.
So
And then the Godwin, I would
what
say
does
that
primary key do? What's the function of a primary key in a table?
I come again.
What what is a primary key in a table? What's the use, the function? How do you really know that this is a primary key? What does it do?
I would say the primary key carries the the unique identifier for the row, the information in the row.
Exactly. So that's what it does. It's a unique identifier. So instead of you now coming, instead of me coming, maybe you work in a bank or you work in a, or you're a student, let's say you're a student, instead of me coming to your school, University of Lagos, or let's say you even work in a bank, instead of me coming to your bank, First Bank, and say, I'm looking for Godwin, it's crazy because there could be 10 Godwin. The security man could be Godwin. The bank teller could be Godwin. Even the bank manager's name can be Godwin. Any person can be Godwin. So it's difficult. I'm not going to see you. If I don't have your number to call you directly, nobody will be able to identify you for me. But if you have a staff number, mainly, even once I get to the gate and tell the security I'm looking for so staff number, they already know where you are. They already know your department because it's only you. You are the only one person that has that staff number in that company at that point while you're there. So, primary key is a unique identifier of an entity, of anything that identifies only you. Two people cannot have the same staff ID. A school, a university can have 1 billion students, but no two students can have exactly, it's like student reg number. In fact, out of that 1 billion students, 1 million students can be bearing the same name, Chris. In fact, it's so funny that you can even see a student that is bearing your same exact surname and your real name, your first name and you can meet students, maybe Godwin Abo. Many students can be bearing Godwin Awo in the same school, in fact, even in your department. But out of that 1 billion students, no two students can have the same reg number. In fact, I noticed that in the entire history of that school, no two students will ever have the same reg number. From various years, if you go back to 1990, 1991, 2000, 2001, 2003, all the students of those years will never repeat, that school will never repeat a reg number. So even in the next 10 years, if I go back to my school and call my reg number, it is me, despite them having had millions of school come after me. Sorry, millions of students come after me, but they can never repeat um, a reg number. I don't know if this is clear to everybody now. So that is the concept of primary key. In a table, primary key represents one transaction. So if you notice in this table, this is the first product that they have, product one. This is the second product they have. So they can decide to change this product one to something else from cake to biscuit. It can be any other thing, but it still remains product one. All right. So that is the concept. Then for foreign key, just like the name implies, foreign key has duplicates. They always have duplicates. It means they can appear several times. So your company now may have a meeting, maybe in Lagos, your company is in Abuja. They will send their delegate. They can send 3 or 4 or 5 staff. When those 4 staff gets to Lagos, when they call, maybe your company name is Chris Enterprise in Abuja. When they get to Lagos and the meeting starts, they start calling, making roll call. They call Chris Enterprise. The 4 of you will stand up because you're representing one company. Your company is one. 4 of you are representing your company in a foreign land, somewhere else, foreign key. So you guys are the foreign key in that meeting, representing your company. So when when there are some keys representing another table. If you watch this column, customer ID, this column now is representing the customer, this entire customer table in this sales table. So the sales table is seeing is able to see everything happening inside the customer's table through this lens, through this lens. This is the connection. This is that's connected now. Now, if sales table wants to see what is happening in the product table, it will just look at it instead of going to look at the entire table. It will just look at this place and see, okay, they actually made, they only have one, two, three, four products. They have, as at now, they have four products currently selling. So if you come here, you now see that they have one, two, three, four, five products, but what is selling is this four. Product five has not sold. They've only sold products three, one, four, and three, and four again. So two people actually bought product four, while two people also bought product three. Only one person has bought. So we are seeing what is going on in the product table from sales table. And then this is sales table. If you come to product table, if you want to see what is going on in the sales table, use this one to see what is going on in the sales table. This is the sales that's going on. They've sold this one, sales ID one. They've made one sale. They've made another sale. They've made another sale. They've made another sale. They made another sale. If another sale happens, it will come here. If another sale, just like that. So this is how this thing works. Now, when you want to connect this table, when you want to connect this table, you are going to use these keys to connect the table. So uh what Power BI is going to be looking at is those keys. Now it's going to look at similar columns, columns. Excuse me. Uh, It's going to look at those similar columns. Now, there are two ways to look at similar columns. It will be looking at the two columns. If I want to connect this table and this table, I'm going to look at the name of the column, product ID. This is not, no. Oh, yes. So I can connect this table using this. These two tables can connect using this row, these two columns. Now they've connected. If I want to connect this and this, let me see if it's possible. Can I connect customer table? Please, someone should help me. Someone should help me. Can I connect? I want Mary. Mary, hi. Are you there? Please unmute. Mary, are you sleeping? Are you with us? Hi, Mary. Mary is not there. Um, Mary. Precious, hi. Can you unmute, please?
Hi, yeah.
Okay, please take a look. Take a look at these two tables. I want to see if we can connect the customers table and the sales table. Is it possible?
Let me see.
Hmm?
So sorry.
So we are looking at sales table
Yes,
and
you can connect. You can
uh,
connect it.
okay,
You can connect it using sales ID.
sales ID, this one. So I can
Yeah,
connect this and this. Perfect.
yeah,
I think they even have customer and this one also. Customer name, customer ID.
yeah. Customer and then the
Okay,
customer.
great.
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah,
so
customer ID.
now this is great. So now someone else should tell us, Mary, are you now awake? Hi, Mary. So Mary, you just joined this meeting and you ran away. You just joined this meeting and then you left your phone and you're now sleeping. Uh How about Olamide? Are you still here? Olamide, you're still here, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's take a look at the customer and the products. Can we connect customer and products table?
Yes, the sales ID.
Hmm?
Yes, sales ID.
Look at it very well.
Sale ID. Yes. Customer
Okay.
table and product table.
How do we connect it? Sales ID. Good. This one and this one. So the three tables can be connected. Now, when you move these tables to Power BI, what Power BI does, is just to look at these columns up here, to look at these ones and just connect it the way we've just done. Once you check this one, product ID, if you're connecting these two and it comes here and it doesn't see, it will check this is not. If it sees this one, it will automatically connect it to connect these two tables. It doesn't care. It doesn't care if what is inside the column is the same. You get, it doesn't care, which is wrong. Sometimes it will not be the same. The table, the column name will not be the same. It will not match. And in such case, Power BI is not smart enough. Let me show you another file. That our cookies file. Who still remember our cookies? Cookies. Let's open cookies. Cookies, cookie types. I don't know if we have all this thing inside this cookie type, but let me go browse. Let's browse. Let me go to cookies. This is the three cookies table. So these tables are supposed to be together, but we separated them based on the type of cookie, which is the products, the customer table, which is the customers, then the orders that were received, which is also sales. So let's open that three Excel file. They usually open in three different Excel files. I don't know why, but let's try to bring them together. Let me see if it will work. Trying to fix, it's not gonna work. They are opened in different files. Uh, anyway, let's work with them like that. So if you look at this, you're going to notice that this is a customer ID. This is the customer's name, the customer's phone number. Then if we look at the other, where is the second table? If you look at this one, you're going to see cookies type, units sold, revenue generated, and cost per cookie. Then finally, you have the orders that were placed. Now, if we want to connect this table, let's see if they can connect. This is order ID, customer ID, order ID, product. So which one should we connect first? Let's see. This is cookie type, unit sold. So this cookies type and the order, can they connect? We have products here. They cannot connect because there's no common unit. How about here? We have the customer ID. So this is customer ID and the other table has customer ID. So these two can connect. So these two can connect. Name, phone number, all these ones, they cannot connect again. Now, but there's something I want you to look at. We cannot connect this one because they don't have similar words, column name, right? But what is inside this place is cookie chip, chocolate chips, fortune type, fortune cookies, oatmeal raisins, snickerdoodle, sugar and white chocolate, macadamia nuts. So these are the type of cookies that they are selling, right? So this is also cookies type, which means the product they sell here is cookie, the product. Let's go back to orders table. What do we have here under the product is chocolate chips, fortune cookies, sugar, oatmeal raisin. So you can see they are the same name of that product. So the name here is products, but here, what is the name? Cookies type. So this column and that column is the same. Now, what is the difference? The title of the column, Power BI will not recognize it, but you can join it manually because the content is the same thing. All right. Another thing you will notice is that here, the cookie type is what? It is the primary key because does no duplicate. It's only one chocolate chips, only one fortune cookie, only one oatmeal raisin, not repeating, right? But this is, we call it fact table. But let me not confuse you with that. But if you come here, you can see that chocolate chip is repeating. So here it is foreign key because so many people were buying it. These things are transactions. This is the first customer bought it. Second, this customer three bought it. Customer four. Customer three even bought three times. They bought three. He bought three. Customer four bought one. This one bought, this person bought two. So people were buying it so much. People were buying it. That's why it keeps coming because it's repeating. Do you get? Is a foreign key here, while in the cookies table, it is a primary key. All these things are things you take note of. Now let's now talk about before we move because we are done with. I believe by at this time you already understand. Now let's talk about the type of join, the different ways you can join a table. We have the one-to-one joining, the one-to-many, and then the many-to-many joining. One-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many joining. These are the three kind of joining. We also have many-to-one, but it's the same thing as this. One-to-many, many-to-one is the same thing. So I just removed it because it's the same thing. All right. So let me quickly explain that before we jump into, let me use this one. So when you talk about one-to-one, it means it's just like you joining for foreign primary key to primary key. It means this is one. This one is not repeating here, right? It is, well, let me use the other table. Let me use this one. So if you want to join this table, now remember we've established the fact that this product column is the same thing in this cookies table as the cookie type column. Do you agree with me? Do you understand why I say they are the same? Do you understand? Does any person understand?
Yeah.
You
Yes,
understand?
because they are the same.
Hmm?
Yes.
Okay, because the content is the same, though the column name is not the same, right? All right. If that's agreed,
Yeah.
then we proceed. Now, imagine joining these two tables. This place I told you is just the foreign key because they are not repeating, it's just one. They all appear one, just one. This one appear one. But if you go to the other table, you're going to see that it is so many. Chocolate chips is many. So the kind of join you're going to have here is what? One to many. You're joining one to many. So when you want to join it, these chocolate chips, now you want to join it to the other table, you're going to see that one chocolate chip is going to come here and see so many chocolate chips, many. You become scared. How come? So now this means we are joining this table. This joining has directional. We are joining this table to this table, not the other way around. We are not joining this table to this table. So when we go to Power BI, you will see that the one that comes first is always on top. The one that is on top matters. If you're joining this one, this table now, this cookies table to the other table, the join type is what? Who can remind me again? Is one to many. The join type is what? One to many. Who can explain to us why? Why is it one to many? Mary, are you back? Mary has even gone out entirely. Some people have gone out entirely. Wow. Okay. Precious, are you there? Do you know why it's one to many, Precious?
Honestly, I'm trying to get what you're asking.
I'm trying to say that we want to join.
Mary said she's shy.
Eh?
Mary dropped a message. She said she's shy.
She's shy. You say she's shy?
She dropped a message on the box
What did she say in the message?
that she's shy. I'm shy. Now, let me drink the medication.
So let's forget about Mary for now. Please explain to us what one to many. We say if we are joining, if we are joining, if we are joining the cookies type to the order table. Are you guys seeing all of this thing? This is my order table. Look at the name of the table here, order table. And then look at this this table here is called cookies type. And the third table, we're working with three tables. The third table is what? Customer. You can see these are the customers. Okay, let's see now the customers. Let's see if the way we can join them with the other one. Look at the customers there. These are the customers we have that patronizes us. You can see their name, just five customer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fresh Delicious, ABC Groceries, Acme Bites, Wholesale Food and Pack and Shop Convenience Store. These are the stores that buy because we sell cookies in wholesale. So these are the stores that buy from us, right? Now, if we go to the order table, let's see the order that they are placing. You can see that these are the order from these people. These are the order. Let's check the no, not this one. Let's check this one. Okay. Look at the cookie type. I wanted to see the orders that these people are placing. I think the column that has their name has gone out. The customers, this thing, but we can also trace it with this order ID, the order that they place. If you notice this order 268, these orders are repeated order. 268, let me see, can still see the same 268, 2833, 289, this is 2387, 234. So the order is also primary key. It's not repeating, but the customer ID here is actually what? Foreign key. The customer ID here is foreign key. So if we go to customers table, let's see if it is. This is not a customer's table. This is a customer's table. So if you come to customer's table, you can see that the customer ID here is primary key. It's not repeating. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in the customer's table, customer 3 is what? Acme Bytes. Customer 3 is Acme Bytes. Customer 3 is Acme Byte, right? Now, let's go to the order table. Look at customer 3. Who is this? Acme Bites. So we know that Acme Bites is one that bought these chocolate chips. Acme Bites is the same person here. Acme Bites is the same person. This is still Acme Bite buying. This is still Acme Bite buying, but on a different date. This is still Acme Bites buying. They buy a lot of chocolate chips. You can see that. Don't think you guys are understanding this thing. But however, I'm trying to join the cookies type table with the other table. I'm trying to join the two tables. Now we've established that these two columns are the same thing, even though the table column name is not the same. The column name here is cookies type, while the column name here is what? Products. But we know that the product inside the column is the same thing. So we can confidently join this column with what? This column because they are the same thing. Now, I want to join the cookies type code table and the other table. I told you that we have one to many, many to one. All these things are interview question. If you don't learn them, it's up to you. They will have which are other ones? We have many, you can see it's one to many, one to one, many to many. These are the joint types that you're going to experience. They will have one to one, and they will have many. These are the four type of join that Power BI has when they are joining a table. So they will look at the table and know the kind of join. So one to many means you are joining one to many, which is you're joining primary key to foreign key. Let me put it this way so that it will not confuse you. Then many to one means you're joining foreign key to what? To primary key. One to one means primary key. This type of join does not exist. It's hardly that you see it. Then many to many is that you're joining foreign key to foreign key. Can anyone make sense of what I've just said here? Please, can anyone explain one to many type of joining for us? Anybody, just volunteer yourself and explain. What does one to many mean? How can the class be interactive? No way. Concern.
We are thinking about it. You said that one to many is like one primary key to foreign key to many foreign key. So we don't know how to explain it, or we are trying to like make meaning of what you explained. Like maybe it will link like I think it will link like that primary key will link multiple rows in another table, right?
That's good.
Is it
Say what?
like the primary key is going to
Mm,
link multiple rows in another table?
exactly. Okay, so let's keep that. When we get to Power BI, you understand better. And that's the major thing. So finally, before we now go to not go, but to Power BI, direction. The direction of the joining is also important. So you need to know that we have single and both direction. So single just means that you're connecting it in a single way, like they're moving just from this table to this table. They can't move backward. It's just from this table to this table. Like I'm joining from this table to this table, just one way, single direction. Now, if it is both direction, it means you can join from here to here, you can join from here to here. You can join from here to here, from here to here. This is not common, but sometimes you encounter it. But the most common one is just single direction. Just take note of that. All of these things don't matter. Remember, you're not the one designing the database, so these are all none of your business even, but just that you need to understand the technicality behind what the tool you're working with. Before you even get to Power BI has already done all of this thing in the background. You don't even need to know how it's done. All this connection, whether it's supposed to be one to many, many to many, single direction or both direction, Power BI will handle that in the background to just give you. But now what happens um When the table is not giving you what you're supposed to get, it's not functioning well, you're trying to do your analysis, you're trying to design your dashboard, and then it's not working. And then you're the expert, you're the Power BI expert in the company, and they call you, how far, this thing. Now you're supposed to start troubleshooting. If you don't understand all of this logic behind the scene, how are you going to troubleshoot? You're just going to be like every other person who doesn't know what's going on. So that's the importance of you knowing this. So why relationship matters in Power BI? Relationship allows Power BI to combine data from multiple tables without duplicates. All right. So the outcome is accurate aggregation, filtering across table, all of these things. They are very important. So we already know what primary key and then the foreign key is. I think I've explained this concept. The primary key is a unique identifier in each row of a table, like the customer ID, product ID, sales ID, all those ones. While the foreign key is the primary key in another table. All right. It's just like a primary key in another table. So the thing is that primary keys, primary keys cannot duplicate while foreign keys can duplicate. So another name for table relationship is cardinality. Cardinality, I prefer calling it table relationship because this cardinality is a very strong word that sounds somehow in the ear. It sounds like a sin in the ear. So you just call it table relationship, but in some places you can also see it as cardinality. So it's still talking about the same thing, one to many, one to one, those same thing that we've actually talked about, that we're going to see physically when we get to, or practically when we get to Power BI. And these are the different cross-function filter direction, how these tables are connected in different directions. So the most common one is this single direction. The both direction is not so common, but it's also, like you can see, it allows filtering to flow in both directions. It can create ambiguity, ambiguous results. So we always try to avoid it. In every situation, just connect by single direction. You get what you want, okay? Um, Schema, this task schema. So let's not talk about this one now. So this is just like a diagram that we're going to see shortly. Let me launch my Power BI while we are looking at this so that it will be launching. It takes a while to come up. So how many of you have Power BI? I believe everybody. So unless it's Mary, it's only Mary that's because she's shy, so she's only the only one that's allowed not to have downloaded or installed Power BI until she stops being so shy. Then she can install it then. So we are now in our Power BI and you're already used to, okay, maybe I doubt if you have it, though you say you have, but I still doubt it. Maybe you are the first person to share your screen. So get on your laptop. You're going to share your screen with us shortly. Please get on your laptop, turn on your laptop. If you're using your phone to join us, turn on your laptop and join the meeting with your laptop. If you're already on your laptop, let us know if you're on your laptop. So, this is, you already know all of this thing. I don't know how many of you that have practiced, but if not, this is the interface. And then what we're going to do is just to bring in tables, right? We're going to click on here, and then it's going to prompt us, to bring up the Excel file. So we have different kind of file, we have the Excel file, and then we'll have the CSV. Do you know what is CSV? CSV file. Then we'll have the Excel file. How do you know Excel file? XL. Someone remind me, XXXL, right? Is Excel extension. So whenever you see a file that has this extension, I hope I'm right, or is it XS, XLXS? So any file that has the name of that file dot, this extension, it is an Excel file. Anyone that has .csv is a CSV file. So when you have a CSV file. This CSV file is a lighter kind of file that doesn't have, like Excel file now, if you open an Excel file, it has all these formats, all this table you're seeing, all these calibration, cells, column, rows, all these things. This is what makes it Excel, all this column. It has the calculation, the formula bar, all those things. That is what makes it Excel. But for CSV file, CSV is going to remove all these things. It's going to just make it plain text. It's just going to be a text. So that's why it's lighter. Because of all these formats that the Excel file is going to carry with it, it makes it a bit heavier. So if you have the same file for in CSV and in the same file in Excel, Excel can be, let's say, 1 kilobyte. No, it can be like 100 kilobytes. And this one will just be like 30 or even 20 kilobytes because this one doesn't have all these formats. It's just a plain text. It converts everything to plain text. So, but now that we're doing Power BI can accept any of this file and work with it. But in fact, when you upload an Excel file to Power BI, it is going to convert it to both Excel and CSV and ask you to choose which one you want. Most of the times we choose CSV because it's now lighter. You don't want anything that'll be heavy. You don't want any heavy file in your Excel. For most analysts will go with this file, Excel. Now, CSV. Now, when you go to SQL, SQL is strictly CSV file. It does not accept Excel file. Whenever you load, in fact, before you load a file, you have to convert it to CSV. But you have to download it as CSV file before loading it to, because SQL automatically is a database, and database has tables. It stores everything in tables already. So you're not bringing a new table to it. It's already a table on its own. So just bring your file, bring your text. It will automatically fit it into its own table that it has. It has a table structure kind of the database. Okay. So I just wanted to point it out in case of those who do not know. So we're going to choose Excel because we want to bring in Excel. So we're just going to click on connect. It's going to now bring us here. So unfortunately, we cannot load the three data at once. So we'll have to put it one by one. So I'll pick the cookie type first. Mary, are you ready? Have you turned on your laptop? Please turn on your laptop, Mary. So I'm going to click on the one that okay, can you turn it on, please? Is it possible to turn it on, or are you not with your laptop there? Just update us, let us know. So I'll click on the one that I want to push in for. So I'll click on it. Then you can see it will start loading. Now, after loading, it's going to load in two different files, like I mentioned earlier. So this is the Excel file. You can see this is the diagram of a table. It is retaining that table, Excel table formats. And this is the CSV. Well, I may not call it CSV, but it's just file. It has removed all those formats because Power BI or Power Query, if you take it to Power Query now or Power BI, it has already structured table, right? So it's going to just put on the data inside a table. So because this one is lighter, most people will just take this one. See, that's giving it its own table here, right? So you can see. Now we have two options. We either transform the data or load it. So if we are sure that the data is correct from Excel, we've cleaned it, everything is clean, then we don't need to transform, we load. But if we're not sure, most of the times you cannot be sure because there's definitely something you may want to change. So always transform. So you click on transform. Immediately you click on transform, it takes you to Power Query. What does Power Query do? Power Query helps you to clean your data. So it has brought us to Power Query. This preview may be up to 21 days, so just refresh, no problem. So this is the table now. Power Query gives you the power to change anything that is not correct. So we come here, look at apply step. It's taking all the steps you're going so that it's recording it. In case you make any mistake, you can go back. Now, what are we doing here in Power Query? We are just cleaning this data. This is data cleaning. If you look, when we get to DAX, you understand what this thing here, formula means. This is how this table was gotten. This table is gotten by, actually, they called it, the name of the table is cookie type. They just named it. And what you have there is units sold and the text. Like the data type is just the text. This is just the text. If you open it, these are just the name of each of the column and the how they were gotten, like how it turned it knows the data type because it will help to suggest the data type of each of these column. So we have to start by knowing if the data types are correct, and then we'll correct it if it is wrong. So this is cookie type. Now, if you want Power BI to automatically connect this table with that other table, this is your chance to correct that by changing this name. What is the name in other table of this column? What's the name is bearing in the other table? Who can remember?
Product.
Product, exactly. So you have the chance to change it to product so that Power BI will automatically connect it because it will see that the names are the same. But if you don't change it here now, then Power BI will not be able to. So it's now left for you to change if you want to. But me, I don't want to change it because I can connect it manually by myself if Power BI fails. So I'll leave that. Then another thing I want to know is what data type is it? Who can look at it and say, okay, this is the name of the product. What's the data type here? What do you think the data type will be? Hmm? Anybody can answer. So in order not to waste our time, maybe I should stop asking questions and just go straight. So the data type here is text. You can see that they are text, right? So whenever I have letters, they are text. Whenever I have numbers, what they are numbers, right? Then whenever you have letter mixed with number, it automatically considers it as text. Or whenever I have letters mixed with characters, space, or anything, it is text. So you can see ABC is the symbol of text. If you click here, you're going to see other data types. You have decimal number, you have fixed number, you have a whole number, you have percentage, date, time, time zone, duration, text, and true or false. So the most popular one is your text, your decimal number, your fixed number in case you're dealing with currency, which you don't deal with here, and then you have your whole number, then the date. These are the most popular ones. So it means that Power BI is correct. It is correct. This is text. Then the next one, let's look at it. These are numbers. So it is giving it decimal number because it has seen a dot here. All these ones are number. Okay, this is a dot. So it is a dot. So therefore it is correct. But we can also change it to a whole number. If you want to change it to a whole number, you can just click on whole number and then it will tell you blah, 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 blah. You say yes, replace. You just click on it. It will change it to whole number. You see, it has made away with all those, it has rounded it up to the nearest whole number, right? And then it turned it to a whole number, the unit sold. So obviously, you have to do this. This is data cleaning that we just did now. There's no way, let me tell you the reason why I changed it. There's no way unit sold. Unit sold means quantity that was sold. You cannot sell half quantity. You cannot sell half quantity. So this is wrong. It cannot be maybe 424.5 units sold. It's either you sell one or zero. So you have to round this one up. So this is wrong. This data type that Power BI chose is wrong. And to clean the data, we have to change it to whole numbers. And to do that, we change it to whole number here. Click on replace, and then that is done. All right, so let's come to revenue per cookie. How much are we making from each cookie? So this is the number. This is correct. The data type is correct. Fine. Then let's come to cookie cost per cookie. How much does each cookie cost? So let's go to the original table and see the cost and know if there are actually decimal. This is the cookie table, right? The one we are working on. So you can see the cost per cookie. Is actually the revenue is actually in decimal, but because this is 000, Power BI does not like it's a straight to the point system. It doesn't like if it is zero is zero, if it's one is one. You can see this zero means nothing, so it's just removed it and gave it a whole number. So, but here it did that here. 2.0 is the same as 2, but 0.5 is not the same as 5, right? Because the 0 is in front. This one has 2.2. It's not the same as 2. So this is accurate. It actually gave accurate. See, we can't change it to whole number because this is money. This one is unit, is quantity, while this one is money. So you can have zero, you can have half $0.5. You can have $2.2, right? So this is correct. So our data is cleaned now. We've cleaned it. Then what do? We close and apply. I'll click here, close and apply. So close and apply means pushing the data to the table. So you can see it is loading. So this time around, Power BI is now synchronizing the data, checking the schema. Look at this schema here. It means it's checking the table connection, the type of connection, the type of table, whatever. It's doing a lot of work in the background here. It finally loads everything and it's complete. It's counting the row, it's counting the column, it's doing a lot of job. That's loaded it. And look at here. This is a table, clean table. If you open it, you're going to see all the columns. See them. Cookie type, chocolate, cost per cookie, revenue, everything fits. Now, if you come to your table, if you come to your schema model, you're going to see the table here. Look at it. It has no other table, so there's no need worrying about connection now. Until you have more than one table, then the connection saga comes in. So let's bring in the second table. I'll go again, Excel. And let's bring in the customer or the order. Let's bring in the order table first. And I'll click. So let's do the same thing because we are not sure if the data is cleaned or not. Thank God we still have 4 people. No one has left. So I'll choose the file and I click on transform the data. Now this has brought us to Power. Let me refresh anyways. This has brought us to Power Query. The applied steps are there for us to guide us. Then let's first of all we must check the data type, right? That's the first thing. So I'll click on the data type. Customer ID is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all the customers. Remember the customers. You remember them? Acme Bytes, all those people. We know that number 3 is Acme Byte, right? So what is the data type here? Is numbers. So obviously they are whole numbers. So this is correct. This one is correct. Now I may also want to change the name. Maybe I want to change it from this to maybe something like this. I just want to add this one, customer ID like this. So once I can change it directly here and just click out. Once I click out, it affects the change. It's still very okay like this. So whatever you want to do, you can do, but I just wanted to show you. Let's leave it the way it was. It's fine. Then let's come to the order ID. Now, this order ID is seen as numbers, though you cannot perform aggregations on it, though, but it's supposed to be character, voucher. So let's see the voucher future. Nothing like that. So it just takes it as number. So it's not decimal. So just leave it the way it is. It is correct. Good. So go to the next one. The product. These are just mentioning the product's name, So obviously it is text, so it is correct, Abby. Then the next one is unit sold. Unit sold again. Unit sold cannot, it's either 1, a whole number, or 0. So it's either increasing by one. If you bought one, the unit sold is one. If you bought two, the unit sold is two. If you bought three, the unit sold is three, right? If you bought 10, the unit sold is 10. There's nothing like 1.5 or 2 points. So the concept of having 4,492.5 means the person did not buy 4,493 pieces, but 4,492 and half piece, which is incorrect. Do you agree with me? Does anybody agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to so to clean this data, we need to change this one. So I'll click here and change it to what? What do I change it to? What do I change it to? How do we clean it?
Phone number.
Course whole number. So I'll change it to a whole number. Probably I will try to warn me. He did not even bother warning me this time because he knows that it is wrong and I'm right. Now date. The date is correct. It has chosen the right thing. See, you chose the right thing, just dates. So if you choose date and time, it means that time, you want to see the time that thing happened. So if I choose date and time, of course, the time was not recorded. So if you just put 0000 there and don't put any information, any data that is not relevant. You understand? Because you're trying to save space and time. So since it's not relevant, you just leave it at dates alone. So go ahead. All right. So now revenue. Revenue, this is money. So whenever you're talking about money, money cannot be in numbers. Money will always be in this decimal number, right? Or fixed number if it's in dollar. So let's see. I think it should be in dollar, but now it comes with this 000 and it's useless. So the best is here to leave it where Power BI left it, which is correct. Then finally, we have the cost. The cost is in numbers here. Is it rounded to whole number? So the cost of the item, let's confirm from the original table. We have, this is the other table, and this is the cost column. Cost column are all in whole number, right? So it is correct. They are all in whole number, so it is correct. Another thing you can do, you can decide to swap. Maybe you want to bring revenue here, you want to bring cost here. You can just lift it and just simply move it to swap. You can see it. You can move anyone to wherever you want it to be. You can swap. So this is going to happen when you can also add column. Like if you want to add profit column now, you can add profit. So if you add your own personal columns and you want to arrange it the way you want it, then you can move it like that. So maybe when we get to DAX, we can now talk about adding column, modifying this column. Maybe you want to change this information here, you can change it, replace. Let's say what is here is a 549. I want to make it 550. I can actually use the replace function to change it. But we'll get to that, don't worry. So my data is clean right now. So I'm just going to push it, close and apply. Close and apply. Power BI is going to go again, check the table, check the relationship with the table that is already here to check the relationship and connect it. So the table is here now, the other table, look at it, other table. Now let's go back to our schema or model. Can you see that's brought this one, but something happened. It did not connect it because it's not seeing any physical relationship. All right. So before we connect it by ourselves, let's bring in the third table and see what's going to happen. The customer table. Don't worry, we're almost done. Once we finish this, we'll just close. We'll have just 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go, okay? So don't sleep off. So this is the table. I'm going to just try to make sure I clean it before I bring it here. I'm just going to refresh. So I have the customer ID correct. The data type is correct. The name of the customers is correct. The data type. This is the contacts, the phone number. So the reason why it's seen it as text is because of the character, this dash. So whenever I have number mixed with letter, it sees it as text. Whenever I see numbers mixed with character, it sees it as text. Whenever I have a mixture of anything, it just sees it as text. So what do we do? What do we do? Do we convert it to number or leave it? Because this column now remember the column you always touch are columns that will be useful to you later. So there's nothing, we are not performing anything in this on this column. We'll never need it during our analysis or design, right? So you're not going to find the total number, phone number, or the average phone number or anything, right? So it's irrelevant. So just leave it to whatever Power BI says it is, even though we know it's lying. Then we come to address, because address is a mixture of number and character, which is space, and then letters. Obviously, it is number. Address is not, it's sorry, is a letter. Text. Then let's move on. Then the city is text, correct? The state is text, correct? The zip code is number, correct? The country is text, correct? Then the address is text, correct? I'm going to just push it and let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. It's synchronizing, it's checking, it's doing all the connection that is supposed to be done. So let's see. Look at this other table. Now look at this. Power BI has connected it automatically. See what it did. Now let's know which column it's used to connect. If you click here, it will show you the column. You see, customer ID, because they are the same name, it connected it automatically. Customer ID connected to customer ID. And now that place that says one to many, you can see one here. You can see many. This term means many. So the connection, the direction is one, sorry, the connection type is one to many. It means that this customer table, the customer ID here is one. The customer ID here is one. If you go to customer table, you can see that the customer ID is one. Look at the customer's table. Where is it? This is the customer's table. This is the customer ID is one, two. It is foreign key. It's not repeating. It's just one. This one appears once. This stress delicious. Then this acme by appear once. Can you see? One primary key. But if you now go to the other table, you can see that the customer ID appear many times. Many. This one now acme by appear 3 times here. This one appear twice. You can see as many as possible. So it's foreign key here. That's why the connection here is what? One to many. You can see one is written here, one to many. And the direction is single. It's connecting from here to here. See the arrow. Whenever the arrow points here, it means it's connecting from here to here. It is one to many. If it changes and you're not connecting from many to one, the arrow will change. It means that the direction is like this, many to one. And I already told you that one to many and many to one is the same thing. So there's no point cracking your head over that. Whichever way it is correct. So this is one to, please, you understand all these concepts? I tried to explain it before we come here. I believe you understand it here. Godwin, do you
Yeah,
understand?
I understand you. Yeah. Please, from what I'm looking at, so it means that the cookie types table does not have connection with this with other table and customers table. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're correct. We are coming to that. Just wanted to be sure you
Okay.
understand. Olamide, do you
Okay, we're getting
understand
there.
up to this point?
Yes, I understand, but I'm still like this cookies types. It have unit sold and the others to unit sold. Why is it not connecting?
Okay, now since everybody's mind is there, let's come to that one. So when you now look at these two tables, this and this, they cannot connect. They cannot connect because let's look at the unit sold and what the content of that unit sold. It looks at the this is a cookie type, this is customer, this is cookie type, this is the other table. So in cookie type, the unit sold here is known by money. How many connections do you want to do it? This is 2 naira, this is 0 naira, 0.5 naira, this is dollar, this is $2.2. So let's look at it also in the other table. The unit sold, look at it, is money. So Power BI is smart, despite the fact that it's looking at the name only, but it cannot look at different money. It cannot connect. It doesn't make sense. Even without Power BI, as a human being, you cannot connect this to this. Remember, the tables must be similar. So it doesn't make sense connecting this and this. All right. Now let's look at what really resembles each other. What can be possible? Now this is cookie type. Remember that one to many. Now this is cookie type 1. This is cookie type. Look at the names here. Is chocolate chips. It appears here. Fortune cookie appears here. Oatmeal raisin appears here. All these things appears here. Now let's go to other table and look at their products. Chocolate is here. If you go down, you're going to see fortune cookie is there. Oatmeal raisin is there. Sugar is there. All the products name. But they are coming many times here. Many. But in the cookies type table, it is just one. So the connection can be what? What type of connection can it have? Somebody?
One to many.
Exactly. So one to many. But the only reason why Power BI did not connect it for us is because of the name. It has looked at the name. This one is cookies type. And it goes to the product table and it is seeing what? What is it seeing there? In the other table, it is seeing products. So it's not so sure. It doesn't have enough time to start going into the column to check. That's why it just left it. And you now cannot work with it like this, because if you begin to work with it like this, you cannot have all the analysis you will do will be wrong. Now let's try to do one. Maybe you want to check the total revenue generated by products. You want to know how much each of the product gave us and the revenue here. Or you want to even know each of these cookie type. You want to know the revenue that we got from each of the cookie type, or you want to know the units sold from each of the cookie type. So you come here, you want to use let's say you want to use this one to do it. You bring out your charts. Then this is the cookies type. So you put your cookies type there. Then this is the revenue, right? This is the order. So you want to know the revenue. You put in the revenue. It will not work. You see calculating it. See what it gave you. It just gave you a flat rate for chocolate chips. I don't know if you're seeing this thing. Let me expand it more. For chocolate chips, it gave you this. So everything is just the same. There's nothing. You know that this is wrong. So the problem is not you. The problem now is here, because they are not seeing each other. So they cannot give you that information because you're trying to get information from here and here. So you need to join the table by yourself because YBI has failed you. So because you cannot see, but you know now that what is inside this cookie type is the same thing that is inside chocolate, that is inside the products. How do you join it? You join it for here, for the cookie type, it is one. For here, it is many, right? So I'll just lift this one, carry it like this and put here on top of this one. It will now pop up a table asking you those other information that we learned about the other type. So from the table, this is a table, this is a table. So from two, so this is table 1, this is table 2. From this table, cookies type table, remember we lifted from here to the other one, right? Sorry. So remember we lifted from here to here, right? So that is why one of the tables is on top, the other table is down. The table on top is cookie types, and the table below is the order, because We lifted this one and put here. So we lifted this one. This is this table here. And this table is this one here. So you can change it. If you want this one to come up, you just come here and select. You can see the two tables here. You can select which table you want, but I think it's okay like this. Now, before you continue, to come down here and ask the cardinality, the table relationship you want to use. It has automatically selected the right one for you, but you can also change it. You can click here and choose which one. Now, many to one. Here, cookie types is just one. It's foreign key. Remember, it's just one. It was just mentioning the cookie. Chocolate chips, oatmeal raisin. But here, it was many. Under the product, you were having chocolate chip many times before you started having oatmeal raisin, oatmeal, So we cannot use many to one. If we use many to one, it means we have to change it. We have to carry this table and put on top here and carry this one and put down. But because the one that has one is up here, so we are going to use one to many. Obviously, you cannot use one to one. It does not even exist. I haven't encountered it. And then this one too. Do you understand why it is one to many? Please, do you understand why before I proceed? Lamide, do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, great. So it is one to many. Now the cross filter direction, how do you want it to move? We are moving from here to here, so it's single. That's why it's single. You can say both. If you choose both, it means you can move from here to here and from here to here. But we are moving from one to many, so obviously it's going to be single. So you have to make sure, although Power BI is going to automatically select all these things for you by default, but you need to know them on your own as well. Okay? So that you be sure. So everything here looks good. We are just going to proceed and click on save. Once you hit on save, you're going to see that connection happen right in before your own eyes. You can see it has worked on it and it has happened. So the connection is now there. It is connecting from one to many in one direction. Let's bring it up. Good. However you want to keep it, it's okay. So you can connect it manually by yourself if Power BI fails you. So let's go back to our table and see. So you see, sum of revenue, we want to know the total revenue that was generated. Let's see. Cookies type. Okay, put cookies type there. Then the revenue that was generated. Why is it giving us this? Units sold. Okay, so let me put the revenue generated. Okay, products ahead. Sorry, the product is cookies type. Then the revenue that was generated from each of the products. So let's pick revenue from here. Let's see why it's not loading. Products and revenue per cookie. They're supposed to give us. Okay, let me know why. I'll carry the cookie type. Or let me carry the products, put here. Then the revenue that was generated. Why? Is it from the setting? The revenue legend. Okay, X and Y. It was in the red legend, sorry. So I can even still carry the cookie type from here and put there. Cookie type. Okay. Okay, let me put products instead. So the product is not supposed to go to legend, it's supposed to be in the x-axis. So we can see from here that it has adjusted. We can now see that the highest that was sold is we made the most money from chocolate chips. Obviously, even if you check that Excel file, you're going to see that there was so much chocolate chips that was sold. You can see all these are chocolate chips that were sold. You can see a lot of them. So many. And you can see the money, the revenue that was generated from it. So all it did was just to add up all of this revenue for us, and then just did it in charts. So we can also modify it. So we can come to this visualization, come here and change this. We don't want to see this money here. We just want to let's clean it up a bit. We don't want to see the values. Okay, we want to see the names. We don't want to see the title. That one is gone. And for the x-axis, we don't even want to see the values. No, y-axis, sorry. For the y-axis, we don't want to see the title. We don't want to see the money. So we want to see the exact money, which is legend. We're going to use data label. So if you come here, turn on the data label, you can now see the money on top. You can see we have 202, we have 109. So let's see if we can also change the, no, the position is okay where it is. Let me see. No. So we want to work on the value. We want to make it bold. It's now bold. I can even increase the size. You can see. And then we can also change the units, display units to 1,000. I want to see it in 1,000. You can see it's in 1,000. So we can now see that the highest selling product or the best revenue generating product is the chocolate chips, followed by sugar, followed by white oatmeal raisin, followed by McDonald nuts, followed by oatmeal raisin, followed by, and the least one is the snickerdoodle. That's one that gives us the least profits. All right. I think you've seen how this thing is. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Any questions? Have you seen it? Any questions? So this is the connection. Very perfect. So next we are just going to start analyzing building dashboard. I think that's the next thing from our next class. Okay, maybe next class we can do DAX so that you understand how to do the calculation parts. All right. Calculation parts. All right, so this is the end. So please, I need questions from you. Is there any questions? Anything you want to know? Anything you don't understand? I'm listening.